Our first topic is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back. No better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $5, and if that first $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets. So head over to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game today with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We got a winning ticket today, guys. At Town Brown 7756 won $838 on a $10 bet in a same game parlay from Monday Night Football. He had George Pickens anytime touchdown score, Dak Prescott over 225 yards, Brock Bowers over 50 receiving yards, Pickens over 60 receiving yards, Trey Tucker anytime touchdown, the Cowboys with the spread, and Quinnen Williams to record a sack. All of those hit, and Brownstown won $838.28 on a $10 bet. If you have a winning ticket, make sure you send it in so we can feature it here on the show as well.
That's a nice one.
It is. Yeah. Guys, we got official news this morning. Shedeur Sanders will start for the Cleveland Browns. Mary Kay, Adam Schefter, Daniel Yafusi have all confirmed that news. Yesterday, Deion Sanders gave his first press conference in Colorado since the news came out that Shedeur could start, and he had an interesting comment on his son getting his first start. I'm curious what you guys think on what Deion said about Shedeur. Here's Deion referring to Shedeur.
Brady King, Denver 7. You mentioned knowing Shedeur was going to play. Do you offer him any advice that you'd be willing to share with us?
I'm his dad. You know, I'm his dad. So, of course, because I know football and I know him and I know what I see and I know some stuff behind the curtain. So I offer him not just on the field advice, off the field advice, life advice, because he's going through a lot right now. A lot of stuff is coming at him, and he's doing a great job. Thank God that God prepared him for everything he's dealing with. I mean, I think a lesser man would have crumbled, but he's been built for this, and who else is built for the adversity like he is? Like going into the NFL. I don't think it's too many quarterbacks that are built like that for the adverse situations and not having the best of things to happen around him. I think we've always done that. We've never had the best of anything, you know. I'm set aside lifestyle. I tried my best to do what a father should do, but when it came to playing on the field, we never had the best of this, the best of that, but we've made the most of this and the most of that. I applaud the young man. I'm just proud of him.
So in that soundbite, Deion said, I think a lesser man would have crumbled. Shedeur's built for this. Who else is built for adversity like he is going into the NFL? I don't think there's too many quarterbacks that are built for that kind of adverse situations and not having the best things to happen around him. It is officially Shedeur time. How much pressure is on Shedeur in his first start against the Las Vegas Raiders?
I mean, you know what the pressure is. I say it all the time. The pressure is crazy. The reality of the situation is you're not going to get the same runway and the same track record as Dillon Gabriel got. You're not going to get that. So, people, and the great thing about it is he woke up to that factor after his 2 quarters. And, he didn't play well. He said he admitted he didn't play well. He showed some things, in my opinion. But there's a lot of people out there like, nope, I told you, this is why he's a 5th-round pick. This is why he ain't ready. This is this. But if we was looking at Dillon Gabriel, he got the benefit of the doubt. He got all the reps. He got all those different things. But guess what? This is life. Life ain't fair. And so what Prime is saying is, all right, well, now you're going to have to come out here. You finally getting the reps today. It's the fierce urgency and now. Let's see what you're going to make your opportunity with. Because now it's time to put all the rest of the stuff to bed. It's time to stand on business, and it's time to say, you know what? What's going to keep you on the field is what you do on the field. Is it fair that, Dillon had 6 weeks and reps and all? No. That's what happens when somebody drafted ahead of you. It's the reality of it. I talked to Bull. We was in the bathroom. We was sitting there chilling. And I said, hey, I used to, this is kind of wild.
Was this an over-the-stall conversation?
We was both done with our business.
When you say sitting there chilling.
We was chilling, right? The bathroom. The bathroom at WKYC looked like a locker room, though. Like it got benches and stuff.
That's true. No, that's a fact.
So we in there, and I said, Bull, when I was a host and I was filling in, they didn't put me on no prime time Browns Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning on the morning show. When G. Bush was filling in, I was filling in from 7 to 8 on Easter, from 5 to 7 on Thanksgiving. Put me a plate up, Mom. Yeah, right. You had to work your way up. And guess what? They was going to see what you was going to do. And if you did something, we might keep you in consideration. Guess what? That consideration was 14 years. You see what I'm saying? This is everything you've done prior to this is the preparation for now. Does it seem crazy? No. But guess what? If you would have told Shedeur Sanders coming in and he was the 4th quarterback on the depth chart, he was a 5th round pick, that this week against the Las Vegas Raiders, he would be quarterback number 1. He would have took it. Prime would have took it. Every supporter would have took it. So now it's time to go out, let it loose, have some fun, and prove what you're going to prove. So this is exactly what you want. All you can ask for in life is a shot. You got the shot. Take advantage of it. Tom Brady took advantage of his. Brock Purdy took advantage of his. So now let's see what you got. You got a week to get your troops together and go battle. That's how it works.
The only thing I would say about Deion's comments that are probably not necessarily beneficial is where he said, we've never had anything around him. Obviously, he didn't mean
I'm
in life.
glad he caught it, because when I heard that the first time, I was wide-eyed going, this kid grew up with the best of everything his entire life.
But he's essentially knocking his teammates throughout his career.
I think he was knocking the programs. He was saying, when we were at Jackson State, we didn't have the top flight.
Sure.
And in fairness, if you compare Colorado's facilities to Ohio State,
of course,
they don't have the best there either.
No,
so I think that's what he was talking about.
I don't think with the Browns. So I don't know. But it's not a big deal. I don't think it's really a big deal. Mostly, he talked like a dad talking about his son.
Yep,
that's mostly what it was. Yeah. For all the we just think of him as prime. We don't think of him as dad, but he's Shedeur's dad. And he's his football coach too, or he has been, but he's his dad. That's the number one priority. And most of what he said there is stuff that a dad would say, including, and we've seen this with dads of football players all the time. Even if you took that as he's saying the Browns' talent sucks or whatever. Other dads have said that too. It may not be the best thing for them to say, but it's not a big deal. And I don't really have a problem with anything Shedeur said. Anything Deion said. And as usual, I feel like whenever Deion says anything about Shedeur, or for the people in the media who have backed Shedeur heavily, I feel like every time somebody in that group says anything, the people on the other side of this use it as an excuse to kind of crap on Shedeur.
It's what camp are you in?
Right.
Which I hate.
I hate that.
Yeah, I do too. I heard a lot of people yesterday say, he needs to be quiet. And my initial reaction is, no, he does not need to be quiet on any level, and here's why. I agree with you. Everything he said, I was cool with.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he caught it, because he was saying he's never had the best of everything. I'm like, don't go there. And this kid grew up with the elite silver spoon.
And then he laughs.
And then he climbs out. He's like, except for lifestyle.
We've been doing that.
Now, you can make an argument that those that grew up with everything might be softer than those that grew up in a single-family home, moving every 4 months, never had anything.
Generally that's true.
Didn't have food. Now, those people know what it's like to be in a fight.
Right.
So I don't know that Shedeur really knows what it's like to be in a fight for his life, but he knows what it's like to be in a fight in a football context.
Sure.
First of all, on Deion speaking, if Shedeur's dad was a 10-year starting guard for the Falcons, I don't really know that I need to hear from him. But this guy set the standard at a position. For me, and I know people will say, he didn't run support, he didn't tackle. To me, he was the best corner cover in the history of the game. Any disagreement?
No, man. Not that I
don't even think it's a discussion. So for me,
since I've been watching football, there's no
when
discussion.
you reach a certain level, you have every right to talk about that, and the fact that it's his son. And as a father who was proud all through my son's athletic achievements, I was, of course, brimming with pride.
Of course.
I do remember when his junior year, I believe, when he went into the NCAA championships as the prohibitive favorite to win the title. ESPN was carrying the event, and they had reached out to me in advance and said, we would like to interview you during the broadcast. And I said, with all due respect, I politely declined. And I did it for two reasons. One, I was thinking about Corey already had a ton of pressure on him being the favorite. I didn't want him to be in the venue and to see Pops getting interviewed. That's not my moment. That was his moment. Number two, I was never a long jumper. What the hell can I add to that conversation? Well, it's all about his penultimate step. If he hits that board on the penultimate, run fast, my G. I think he can win the national championship. I said I have nothing to add other than the fact that I'm a proud dad. And on that vein, you could interview any other long jumper's dad, and he would add as much to the broadcast as I would.
Yeah, it's a great point.
I just didn't have anything to add. So, but in Deion's case, Dillon Sanders is, they should build statues for this guy. They will and have.
And honestly,
so he has a right to talk about it.
And you know what? He really hasn't talked about him that much.
No, I think
it's mostly been just when he's been asked.
They're in the midst of a bad season. At Colorado, okay, and the athletic director that hired him was getting a lot of pressure. He just stepped down. Things are not going well now for Deion Sanders and Colorado. I'm not saying he's not going to turn it around. I'm just saying the guy that brought him in has been run out. So so I don't want to hear, if I'm a Colorado fan, and he spends too much time talking about Shedeur, I'm like, oh, yo, eyes on the prize. Boulder. So I think it's been smart of him not to weigh in. Plus, I think it's smart for him to, the more he talks, the more we glom onto it, the more pressure it puts on. I'll disagree with one thing that you said. Or no, I actually agree with you, but I'll explain why I think it's different. Because you said, well, there's a lot of pressure on him. There's more pressure on him than there was on Dillon Gabriel. And I agree with you. I think that's right. But here's part of the bubble that comes with Shedeur. When you have a tag of legendary, why did we see this celebration with a sack? If he came in under the radar, Dillon Gabriel's been sacked many times. He didn't have a celebration that could be mocked. So sometimes I think players put the target on themselves.
But that's part of listen, that's fine too.
It is, but you got to deal with
and the good ones can back it up.
And that's exactly right. So
Aaron Rodgers was running around doing this for 10 years. Guess what?
Well, he won a Super Bowl.
That's the way we're going.
But if you call yourself legendary,
that's what it is. I like that.
You better step up and be legendary.
That's
the only point I would make about that.
When LeBron James called himself king and threw chalk in the first, who does that? How do you?
Well, by that point, though, Sports Illustrated had already dubbed him the chosen one.
But here's the thing. Hey, guess what? When you name yourself that and you feel like you
better live up.
You got to stand on it. I think the thing about Coach Prime is ridiculous. First and foremost, there's a lot of people speaking on Prime's name. I said this before. I don't even think you should be able to talk Prime. Coach Prime is one of the greatest football. He's top 5 ever. He's the greatest corner of all time. He did something nobody could do. He played baseball and he played football. For you to act like Prime.
Bo Jackson could do it.
Yeah, he was, right? He was great.
Leave out Brian Jordan.
Brian Jordan was a poor man's Deion.
But Prime, in terms of NIL, is here because of Prime. He was the first dude wearing jewelry. Prime is the reason I could wear this today and somebody said, don't take that off on TV. That's because of him. Because he could get that off.
He was the Muhammad Ali of football. He was the first guy that really did that.
He made it okay to wear hats. He made it okay to wear Nikes. He was the first dude with the signature deal. He was the first dude dancing in the end zone. He was the first dude with a music video.
Now, he backed it up.
And he backed that up. So for me, Prime get to say what he want to, just like Peyton Manning get to say what he want to.
Yeah, I agree.
Peyton Manning say what he want to. I'm
There's
just saying that's
certain guys that have open mics for as long as they want, and I hope they use it judiciously. And I think so far he has. Look, I agree, he has every right to comment. Especially, he didn't bring it up. The question was asked. Now, it would be different if during a news conference for Colorado football, he sits down and he says, "Well, I want to start by talking about my son." Now that would be different. The reporter asked him the question. He has every right to answer that question. I thought he answered it as well as he could. The only thing about the whole, he's going to earn, if he stays the starting quarterback if he plays well.
That's it.
And I don't know that anybody can disagree with that. I've heard people say, well, no, you can't lose your job to injury.
Yes,
well,
you can.
go ask Wally Pipp what happened to him when Lou
Of
Gehrig
course.
replaced him in the lineup. If the guy comes in, and this is exactly what happened to Tom Brady. If the guy comes in on an injury and balls out, and everybody's looking at it and says, oh, we can't put him back on the bench.
Right.
He stays in the game.
Especially when the injured guy wasn't very good.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, now, in the case of New England, obviously he replaced a very good quarterback
Right, sure,
who just
yeah.
signed the biggest contract in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
So if you think about what Brady was able to do as a
Yeah.
sixth-round draft pick.
That was crazy.
He came in and he took over and earned every bit of it. And the beauty of it for him was he proved that was the right decision.
Yes.
He didn't just win 1 or 2. The man won 7.
It's your skill. Like, look, that's why I said yesterday, listen, man, I get it. People say, listen, the reps conversation and where you was drafted and how you got here and what you doing, that's done ski. You know why? Because we sitting right here.
What happens now
Today,
matters. Yes.
when you say who's the starting quarterback, because Kevin Stefanski said, who is the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns right now today at 11:29 Eastern today? It is Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Hey, now everything that is your future is in your hands.
Yes.
That's right.
And everything that's happened in the past doesn't matter.
Does not matter. And by the way, Kevin Stefanski's not calling plays. It's a rookie, two games he could call plays in Tommy Reese. You better get with Tommy Reese. And I told people this before.
Oh, they are.
The same offensive line and the same receivers. I've been very crystal clear. I said, listen, when Dillon was in there and when Flacco was in there, I told you, the offensive line ain't no good and the receivers ain't no good. But guess what? When Shedeur Sanders get in there and they're not getting new linemen and new receivers.
Same guys.
Same dudes. You got to figure it out.
You better figure out what Flacco couldn't and what Dillon Gabriel couldn't.
And that's how you show.
The beauty of this is we talked when he was drafted. I remember we all sat here and said, is he going to get to play? And I said, this is the Cleveland Browns. These are the Cleveland Browns. They used 5 quarterbacks 2 years ago. I said, he absolutely will get to play. Now, it's not like he rose through the ranks because of what he was doing on the practice field and earned the number 1. I said, if there are 3 quarterbacks ahead of him, they will all go down to injury. At some point,
he's going to play.
They're all going down. Flacco got moved. Gabriel gets hurt. Now it's his turn. Doesn't matter how he got here. Doesn't matter what happened prior to this point. If during the hours of 1 o'clock Eastern time to 4 o'clock Eastern time for us, he goes onto that field in Vegas, or is this at what
It's
time?
4 o'clock Eastern.
4 o'clock us, 7 o'clock them. If he goes out 4 o'clock us, 7 o'clock, and in those 3 hours, carves up the Raiders, comes home with the victory. I don't care that they're 2-8. They get paid too.
Yeah.
They're not a good team. But if he beats them, he's the incumbent.
That's right.